Hey guys, it's me, Vinny. I'm back with a brand new vlog. The draft is tomorrow, and I can't wait for that. I'm probably going to be streaming it live with the rest of the guys. But I want to talk about this news that came out of CinemaCon. And I know that, Universal has theirs today, Warner Brothers was yesterday. But to me, by far the most perplexing news, the most perplexing information easily came yesterday when Sony had their meeting and their conference, and they announced some of the new projects they have. And I was mostly focused on this Sony Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man that they're still talking about. I'm not including the animated Spider-Verse films because I think that's in a different universe. But right after the rip-roaring success that was Morbius, yeah, it wasn't a good movie in the slightest. You can check my review on it. I would say I'd give it like a 3 out of 10. If I'm being maybe kind of like a 4, and at worst I'd say a 2. Definitely was one of the worst comic book movies I've ever seen. The writing was all over the place. The pacing was way too fast. The acting was hammy at best and phoning in at worst. And the effects weren't good. So what does Sony do? Do they scale back their plans? Do they listen to fan feedback and decide to announce a 4th Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire as the lead? Do they announce a 3rd one with Andrew Garfield as the lead? The answer is no, they don't do either of that. In fact, they double down on their plans, actually, when it comes, if not triple down their plans, because they're still moving full speed ahead with their Kraven the Hunter movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson that's going to come out in January of next year. And then on June is going to be their Madam Web movie that's going to come out next June with Dakota Johnson as the lead. And they announced another project with a release date. Now we've heard reports of, they want to do a Black Cat movie, a Silver Sable movie, some of these other characters. But then out of left field, they announced a movie of El Muerto starring rapper, wrestler, and most recently actor Bad Bunny. Out of all the characters they wanted to make a movie of, and they choose El Muerto. Okay, first off, you're probably wondering, Vinny, who is El Muerto? I've never heard of this character before. And even some diehard, in fact, I think every comic book fan, no one knows who El Muerto is. So I actually had to do a lot of digging, and the guy doesn't have a Wikipedia article. He's only appeared in 2 issues. That's right, 2 issues. In the 60-plus years that Spider-Man's existed, this guy has only appeared in 2 issues in filler area in 2006. 2 issues. 2 issues. 2 issues is enough for Sony to choose you as the lead of their own movie. 2 issues. Two of them. 1, 2. Not 200, not 20. 2. 2 in 2006. That was it. That's all they decided. Apparently, they were very, very happy with how Bad Bunny was in the new Bullet Train movie, which actually has Aaron Taylor Johnson in it. And he said, we want you so much that we want you a part of our Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man. So who do you want? And he found this guy who's a wrestler. He said, I like wrestling. I've done some wrestling. I want to play El Muerto. I mean, he's Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. Close enough, I guess. It's just, they had all these other plans they have. Going through all these plans, it's just so baffling. Why are they making an El Muerto movie? No one has ever heard of this character. Even once, even diehard fans have never heard of El Muerto. Like, Venom, I completely get. Venom is an iconic character. There's been talks about him having a solo movie for years now. Morbius makes way less sense considering he's far more obscure, but at the same time, he is a character that's been around for 50 years. He's had his own series for a short time. He's been in some TV episodes and in some video games. And hell, when Artisan, I think, had the rights for him very briefly, they even were thinking about making a movie based on Morbius. So, as foolish as the idea of Morbius was, compared to other things, isn't that totally out of left field. Still extremely weird, still very obscure, but not completely out of left field. Kraven the Hunter Okay, that makes a bit more sense considering he is a very famous Spider-Man villain. Though it does again run into the same trap as you're making a Spider-Man character without Spider-Man. And even Madam Web, I would say, makes a little bit of sense because, the connection of all the Spider-Man characters, but there's still no Spider-Man in there. But, I was expecting them to do a character like Black Cat or Silver Sable or like Jackpot or whatever, but they go with a character that no one has ever even heard of. Apparently, the only fan of El Muerto that ever existed was an executive over at Sony who said, Bad Bunny, we're going to put you as El Muerto. I mean, I've seen more requests for Sony to make a Big Wheel movie. And granted, yeah, the vast majority, almost all of them were very ironic because of how stupid it was. But at least people know who Big Wheel is. Big Wheel's been around, I think, for like 40 years. Big Wheel has been in TV shows. He's been in cameos. He's been in many comics. El Muerto, again, only 2 issues in 2006. Not 20, not 200, 2. 1, 2. 2 issues in filler areas in 2006. Think of all the many properties over the years. It doesn't have to be comic book related. It could be anything. Think of all those amazing franchises that people have wanted to see get adapted. And Sony decides they're so desperate that they decide to go with making a movie on El Muerto. Why? Like, I think the only reason why they're doing this is because of Bad Bunny. Because Bad Bunny is a very, very big deal right now. He has very, very well listened on Spotify. But how many fans of Bad Bunny are really going to show up to see El Muerto? Like, because El Muerto is so bottom of the barrel in terms of a character, you can really make up whatever you want and no one's really going to get mad at you. I think this is like the one instance where, yeah, you can have people arguing with like Venom and Morbius, but because El Muerto is so like unknown, you could do whatever you want. You can make El Muerto the guy that runs a candy shop or something, and I don't think people would care. Now, the story of El Muerto is that he's a part of a family of luchadors, and it seems like Juan Carlos Estrada Sanchez, I think his name was. And he's a very strong wrestler, and he wants to take on the power of El Muerto. I think something like that. I don't know. He is no one's ever heard of him. Like, if you look at Google Trends, they're at 0. Literally 0. Less than single digits. 0. The only reason why it went up was because they announced El Muerto and no one knows who El Muerto is. And even afterwards, people still don't know who El Muerto is. Maybe Bad Bunny is the diehard El Muerto fan. And, props to Bad Bunny. Like, she's had a great story. But I can't help but feel like this announcement just reeks of desperation. Is Sony just not allowed to make any live action movies of Spider-Man? Like, it's great that this is the first ever, superhero movie based on a Latino character. Okay, I'm down with that, but you're going to do one on El Muerto? I mean, you have Miguel O'Hare, Spider-Man 2099, that's right there. And you have Miles Morales. You killed 2 birds with one stone. You have a African-American superhero and you have a Latino superhero in one together. But you leave them for the Spider-Verse movies. But for the live-action movies, which generate a bit more profit more than likely, you don't bother doing either of them. And you decide to go literally in the bottom of the barrel to find El Muerto. And found, we have the rights to this guy. Let's use him, I guess. So odd. Like, it's almost self-parody at this point. Like, you'd think after Morbius, they would say, we should make a live-action movie with Toby or Andrew again. But they don't do it. In fact, Andrew is going on record saying he's taking a bit of a break from acting, which is not a good sign for anyone that wants to see Amazing Spider-Man 3, including myself. In fact, there's other reports saying that, granted from Forbes, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but according to Forbes, Sony approached Andrew Garfield of being the main Spider-Man of their universe. In fact, maybe even retroactively making the movies as a part of the universe. And he said he wanted no part of it. And, honestly, with how Sony's been, I can't blame him for feeling that way. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, he should be the main Spider-Man of this universe. But at the same time, you know, with how bad Morbius was critically, and it did okay financially, but because of how bad Morbius is and with just the misdirection of everything, and also based on how the Amazing Spider-Man universe ended, I can't blame him for not feeling comfortable with Sony. I mean, they're on a safe path now, but the big reason as to why he decided to come back along with Tobey Maguire was because of Kevin Feige and the work at Marvel Studios. I mean, yeah, Sony may be the ones marketing the movie. Sony may be the ones that are putting their Columbia Pictures logo on there, but it's Marvel Studios creative control, and Sony just does the marketing and everything, and they get three-quarters of the budget. Like, do you really think Andrew Garfield is going to want to have face off against a Sinister Six that comprises of El Muerto, a Vulture that was yanked from the MCU, Morbius, and Venom? I don't think he does. I mean, do you think he's going to really be that interested in facing off against Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven the Hunter? That's going to be a bit more interesting, but like we'll see. It's also a movie that just along with El Muerto coming out in January, and we generally know how the movies in January end up. They're generally not the best movies. That's not all the time. There are sometimes some gems, some sleeper hits there. But more likely than not, if a movie's getting released in January, that usually means they don't have a lot of confidence in it. And it usually means that it's where the bad movies often are. Now, that doesn't have to necessarily be the case, but that often is the case. And, you know, I'm happy for Bad Bunny, but I would say for any Spider-Man fan out there, I'm so sorry because honestly, I'm feeling like Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. They're not going to give it up because it gives them so much money. But goddamn, like to make an El Muerto movie, that you're really just clinging into fans being desperate, and especially if there's no Andrew Garfield or anything coming in there, and you have Tom Holland, it would be a variant, so many people also wouldn't care. Like, you really think people are going to go that crazy for your movies when you're not even going to have any of the Spider-Man in there? Like, why should I care? Why should I care if it's not? Why should I care about this universe if the Venom movies they're somewhat fun, but they're average, and Morbius was a train wreck? And I'm not confident in the other three movies because you're having the people that worked on Morbius doing them. Like, how are you going to get people interested? The answer is you just aren't. More than likely, these are going to be movies that say, yeah, this is nice, but where's Spider-Man? I mean, Venom, you can get away with that, but Morbius, I was asking that question. Kraven, I'll be asking that question more. And if Madam Web and there's no Spider-Man there, and I'm really going to start asking questions. But yeah, I'd say for El Muerto, I wish the best, but a very head-scratching decision, especially for a character that only had 2 issues, nothing else. This could be a real dumpster fire, and I don't have any confidence that it'll be good, but I wish Bad Bunny the best of luck, and I hope he has a good performance because I'm not too confident in it. I'm being honest. I'm just not. It feels like a shot in the dark, very desperate decision, really just feeling that we can put anything. Or are you going to call El Muerto a Marvel legend like you called Morbius? Yeah, he may have been around for 50 years, but most people don't even know who Morbius even is, and he was no legend. If he was truly a legend, then people would have actually loved it, and people would have cared. I wonder what you're going to call El Muerto. Oh, it's a Marvel character. Listen, we tried that. You tried that before Morbius. You didn't try. Like, you just kept playing with that. He's a Marvel character. What are you going to have? Oh, Bad Bunny's in this movie. If he's bad at acting, why should we care? I mean, come on, guys. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the El Muerto movie. I want to know what you think. Do you think the El Muerto movie is going to be good? Do you think it's not going to be good? I mean, do you think El Muerto is the right choice for the first ever Latino superhero movie? Would you prefer Miles Morales or Miguel O'Hara? What do you guys think? Please put it in the comments and down in the comments below. As always, I'll see you next time, guys, and peace out.